Hello there, and welcome to Five Homes to Freedom, the program that shows you how you can create financial freedom for you and your family. So let's get started by taking a quick look at what you'll be learning. In Module 1, what we're going to be doing is looking at exactly what you want and who you're going to need to help you achieve what you want. So we're talking about creating a clear target. So what style of property are you going to be looking for, or should you be looking for? And then where should you be looking? What cities, what neighborhoods? And then once you determine those, how are you going to structure that property or that purchase? How are you going to negotiate the best deal for you in this program? We're then going to help create a personal plan for success that's tailored to you. We're going to determine why you want to be doing this, and we're going to then set very clear, precise goals. Understanding the psychology of winning is critical to your success, so we're going to include a bonus interview with a personal development coach to help you achieve and get clarity of your why. Then we'll talk about creating your power team, surrounding yourself with the right people, with the right mindset, the right skill set to help you achieve your goals. Next is your map, a massive action plan. Having a personal plan, development plan, is critical to your success. It acts like a roadmap for you to achieve your goals. And this is a full plan. It's not a partial plan. So you're going to have everything you need to succeed with your goals. We're then going to wrap things up for Module 1 with a live training call with my good friend Dave Dubeau and myself, where we will review everything in the previous lessons, and then we will stay on the line with you for as long as required to answer everybody's questions. Then we're going to start with Module number 2, and that's understanding the money, using partners, your joint venture partners, and also making sure that the numbers work, making sure you understand how to make the numbers work as well. So we're going to talk about figuring out your financing. We'll look at the different types of financing that are available. It could be private money. It could also be using seller financing, which is called a VTB, vendor takeback, or it could be accessing your own personal savings. We'll then take a look at the conventional mortgage options versus the mortgage brokers, so the big banks versus the mortgage brokers. Then we'll take a closer look at understanding not only your own personal credit situation, but understanding your joint venture partner's credit situation as well, so that you can qualify easily for mortgages. And we're going to have a bonus interview with Mr. Dan Heon, who's a very well-established mortgage broker, and he deals primarily with investors, so he knows what he's talking about. We'll then talk about down payments, how much you're going to need, and where are you going to get this money from. We'll continue on talking about joint ventures and money partners then, working with other people to achieve your goals. You need to understand and decide what type of investor you want to be working with. You need to understand the rules with respect to raising capital so that you stay out of jail and you follow the rules as set by the Securities Commission. Then we'll create a plan for finding and attracting investors to you, so you don't have to go looking for those investors. I know it's very stressful for people to think they have to go out knocking on doors and asking people for money to invest. Well, we're going to show you how you can attract people to you rather than you go looking for them. Once you have the investors in place, then we'll show you how to structure a very good joint venture agreement, making it a win-win for both sides to make sure that both sides are protected and that your investor is not only protected but benefits from the deal as well. Then we'll take a look at some crunching of the numbers. And I know for many people this is very stressful because they claim they're not good with math. So we're making that very easy for you by creating some analyzing tools to help crunch those numbers for you to determine whether it's a good deal or a bad deal, which property you should be paying down faster than another one. So we're providing you with those analyzers, and we'll walk through how to use those analyzers as well. We'll calculate different scenarios so that we can determine whether it makes sense to use your own cash or use an investor's cash. And then if you're putting down lump sums of money versus gradual pay down, all the different scenarios you can look at and you can play with these analyzers. At the end of this module, like we did in module number 1, we're going to have a Q&A, so we'll do a very quick review of all of the lessons, and then again we will stay on the call for as long as required to answer everybody's questions. Then we jump into module number 3, and that's how can we achieve our goal faster. And what we're talking about here is accelerating the mortgage paydown. So we need to understand what the mortgage paydown is, how that works. So we'll explain that in detail. We'll start off by talking about the simple timing of payments, whether you go with monthly, bi-weekly, weekly, whatever the case. Then we'll talk about creating extra cash and how that is going to pay down your mortgage faster. So that cash could come from the property itself, where you just turn it back into the mortgage. It could come from personal sources of extra cash. Maybe you just need to tighten up your budget a little bit, or maybe you've got a slush fund that you can tap into. It could also be coming from other investment profits that you currently have in place. Maybe it's another real estate deal, or it could be stocks or whatever other deals you have on the go. Then we'll talk about creating some big chunks of cash. And these big chunks of cash can really accelerate your mortgage paydown. So we'll take a look at wholesaling or assignments. Then we'll take a look at your buy, fix, and sell strategy, which we call flips. And finally, we'll wrap it up with your rent-to-own strategy. So we'll talk very quickly about all 3 different strategies to see if one or all of them would be of interest to you to help you generate those big chunks of cash to pay down that debt more quickly. And again, at the end of Module 3, we will review all of the lessons that we covered, and then we will have our live Q&A to answer everybody's questions. Module number 4, pay me now or pay me later. So a lot of people want to have cash flow immediately. They're not willing to wait 5 or 8 years to experience some cash flow. So we're going to talk about how we can do that. And it may be through a delayed mortgage paydown where you only use a portion of the cash flow to accelerate the mortgage paydown and you keep some of it for your own personal cash flow. We'll talk about generating cash from secondary deals. Like in the previous module, we talked about rent-to-owns, flips, assignments, etc. And then we'll also talk about deal fees. So collecting a little bit of money, a little bit of extra money from your joint venture partner. When your partner invests with you, you take a little bit of that money to compensate you for putting the deal together and managing the deal. Again, we will review all of these lessons at the end of Module 4, and then we will have that live Q&A so that we can answer everybody's questions. The last module is called the Golden Goose. Now this is a new concept that we've created, and it's a bonus strategy. It's about creating $8,000 a month tax-free within 5 years. And you heard right, it's $8,000 per month tax-free within 5 years. And we're going to talk about 2 different strategies to achieve this goal. The first strategy is using your own money. You're not using joint venture partners or anybody else's money. It's just your money for the down payments, and how you can achieve that $8,000 per month within 5 years. The second strategy is where you are using other people's money, joint venture partners, whether you have any cash in the deal or not, or you have terrible credit, you're still able to achieve that $8,000 per month tax-free, but it's going to take you 7 years. So those are the 2 strategies for the Golden Goose. And then we'll wrap module number 5 up with a very quick review, and there'll be lots of questions with this particular module, so we'll stay on the line as long as required to answer all those questions. So that's the 5 modules for the program. Look forward to answering your questions as we go through the program, and we're always here for support, so enjoy with module number 1.